Hi, this is Kelvin Troy Johnson. I'm here again, and today I just wanted to give a talk today. I wanted to talk to you about the essentials of the counselor empire, the 4 essentials of every counselor's empire building. Okay, so listen. Now this is assuming that every counselor wants to build an empire. After working in the field for many years, I realized that there were only a few people building an empire in the counseling industry, and generally those people were the bosses. Generally, they were people who you hardly ever saw. They were in administration or doing something else, but I believe that every counselor should have their own empire. Do you agree? I hope you do. I totally believe that. I believe that we do so much work. There's so much done out there, and it's very important work. And so I think that it needs to be created, and it needs to be something you can build on and do something more than just kind of work for someone else and go to work every day and you enjoy it, but you have to have your own empire. Listen, when I first started this out, I was studying business at the same time, and so I never thought that I would come to a place like this. But I always thought, even while I was in the counseling industry, I was always thinking like, how am I going to own my own company? How am I going to own my own business? Do I want to own my own counseling agency? How's this all going to turn out? One thing I knew is that I understood from the entrepreneurial studies that I did was this one fact, ladies and gentlemen. While you're out building someone else's house for 8 hours, 10 hours and plus, you'd better be building your own house, because maybe one day the person might tell you to go home. They might tell you that today is your last day. I'm sorry, we like you, we really like you, but we can't keep you. Or you might get a bad accusation. Anything can happen. So I thought, I was thinking early in my career that I need to figure out how to own my own company. So listen, I'm passing that on to all of my counselors out there. You need to be thinking of how you're going to own your own empire. And I am passionate about helping you do just that. I've seen so many great counselors, great speakers, but great people who really pour their hearts out for other people, but their current situation was almost as bad as the people they were helping. And it didn't have to be so. So this is what we're doing today. So we're helping people we're giving you today the 4 essentials to building your counselor empire. Okay? So here we go. Number 1, we're going to just get started on it. Listen, I'll just give you all 4 of them right now. They are strategize. They are simplify. Number 3 is systemize. And number 4 is send off. Okay? So for this talk, for this moment right now, we're just going to really going to focus in on strategize. Creating the strategy is maybe one of the most important things that you can do. Creating the strategy on how you're going to get from where you are now to where you believe you love to be. And just what is that anyway? That's part of the strategy. There's other things that we're going to be presenting in other video clips and other video trainings such as this one. But I think that this is one of the most important things that we can start off with, because unless you have a nice firm foundation on knowing where you're going, unless you have a nice paved road that will give you the facts on where you're going, then you could end up anywhere and it'll just be just fine. They say if you don't know where you're going, anywhere will do just fine. Well, for me, and hopefully for you, anywhere just won't do fine. It's just not good enough. We've got to design where we're going to get going. So here we go. Here we go. So the one thing that I want to start off with as we talk about strategizing, and the one thing is find your passion and find and define your passion. Now, I know that sounds simple, it sounds easy, it sounds obvious, but isn't it the most obvious things that we miss? It's the obvious things. Find and define your passion. What is it that really burns in your heart? What is it that really maybe keeps you up at night? What is it that maybe gives you that joy, the juice of life? What is it? It's important for you to learn to define and to find just what that is. Okay? Do you love to talk to your clients and your clients? What do you normally talk to them about? Do you love to talk to them about their maybe some of their issues that's going on? Maybe there's something specific that you talk to your clients about that other counselors don't talk about. Okay? It's all about finding your passion. Okay? So what do you find yourself maybe repeating over and over again to many different clients? You have a client, you find yourself in front of clients and you're repeating the same things over and over again. Okay? That might be part of your purpose. Listen, this stuff kind of sneaks up on you. It's not something that's all well and everything's just set up just so, and you walk into it one day or you just wake up and that's my purpose. No, it generally doesn't happen that way. Generally, along the course of your life, there's certain things that keep happening. There's certain kinds of people who are drawn to you. That might be your purpose. There's certain kinds of teaching that you found yourself really enjoying, and others you were like, oh, I don't like that so much. Okay, that might be part of your passion. Okay, so who do you enjoy serving? That might be part of your passion. Maybe you enjoy helping people who have mental illness. Maybe you might enjoy helping, you might really get satisfaction from helping people who maybe women's shelters. You might be a person who enjoys doing women's empowerment, helping people to come up and to advance. Maybe you might really enjoy working with families. Okay? It's very important for you to define and find your passion. Now, some of you have found your passion. You're working in the industry, and that's fine for you. But I believe that there's others of us who haven't found our passion just yet. Many times people are just working but haven't quite gotten there yet. So I encourage you, find your passion. It's got to be your number one area in creating your strategy for your expert empire. Now, here's why. It's very important for you to find your passion early, because you're going to put a lot of time into this. You're going to put a lot of energy, a lot of work that's going to go into this. And the last thing you want to do is put all that work, all that time, all that effort into something that is not your passion. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. It makes sense. I believe that we all need to discover that it's the key thing in our building of our success strategy. So, all right, here we go. Number 2. All right, number 2 is decide how you will best serve. Okay? How will you best serve? How will you best serve? Okay. Now, as you know, there are lots of different ways that you could serve. There's lots of different platforms that you can serve in. You can decide to go out and using your passion, become a speaker. Okay. You can, using your passion, go out and become a trainer. Now, and I know some of you, listen, we're going to go more in depth with every one of these throughout the series of our trainings together. But I believe that the world needs training. The world needs your training. Now, there's not a lot of people out there who are doing training, for development, for personal development, for all those sort of things. There are people doing it, but there's not a lot. There's not a lot of people who are training corporate America about social issues. I don't think I even know any. But to me, it's a wide open market because corporate America needs to know what's going on in the social market, and who is going to tell them who knows more about it than you. Okay, so I think that's important. So you got to look at it. How are you going to serve? Do you want to become an author? To me, being an author is the number one top of the list. Everyone, listen, I almost expect everyone who will listen to this kind of training, counselors, I expect you to become an author. You've got to become an author. Now, you don't need a PhD to become an author. You don't need a side. Now, if you got a PhD, wonderful, become an author. Okay, you don't need PsyD. You don't need an advanced degree. You don't have to have a master's. Listen, you don't even have to have a bachelor's to write a book. Okay, all you need is experience and research. And we'll go into the section more. We have a training on becoming an author, but we're going to go more in depth at another time. But let's stick to this. How will you best serve? Okay, so if you're going to become, let's say you're going to become an author. Okay, now since we're talking about strategy, the question is, what kind of author? Okay, what kind of author will you become? Will you do a fiction book, nonfiction book? Okay, this is the time to get all of that out. All right. Become an author. Which one? And for me, I'm expecting for us to be talking, which one will you attack first? Because we expect everybody to do as many areas of this as possible. Listen, play with it. What do you have to lose? What do you really have to lose by not going after it? Become a radio show host. What do you have to lose? Listen, through our trainings, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. It'll be up to you to make it happen, okay? So, how will you best serve, and which one will you do first? Get that in your mind. Which one are you going to do first? Now, through our trainings, you'll learn which one are the easiest to do first. But easy, hard, it doesn't matter. It all takes work. But you'll have a product at the end of it. Okay, so become an author. Now you have to now figure out. Okay, now through what venue am I going to do all these things? Well, am I going to do it through audio, video, online, and like how am I going to sell my book? Do I want to do nonfiction, fiction? You have to work all those things out. Okay, and if you need some help, we'll put up a nice training on that as well. All right. So that's it for number 2. How will you best serve? All right. Number 3, you've got to cultivate your skill. Cultivate your skill. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, what do I need to know in order to get here? What do I need to know in order to become a radio show host? What do I need to know in order to create my own speaking events? To go out and become a corporate trainer, and to go out and speak at schools and with kids. Okay, what do I need to know? Now I'm not talking about technical skills, no, not so much technical skills. I'm talking about not tactical skills, but more thinking it all the way through. Okay, cultivating your skill. For some of these things, you might need to go back to school. You might need some college training. You might need, actually, for most of these, you don't.